401k match, free breakfast, and more. Learn more and apply at zeroresminnesota.com/careers.
Hi, this is Chad from AM 950. Snap Construction is arguably the most well-reviewed roofing, siding, window, and insulation contractor in the metro. Ryan is so excited about working with AM 950 and our listeners that he wants to help us grow.
This is Ryan, owner of Snap Construction. I was friends with Chad long before I started marketing with him. I was a bit skeptical of radio advertising before Chad convinced us to run ads. The advertising's been so successful, we want to help the station grow. We've absolutely loved working with the listeners of AM 950, and we all know how extremely important this radio station is to the community. To help AM 950 grow this summer, Snap Construction will be putting up proceeds to assist the station in marketing on social media. Snap Construction encourages you to follow, engage, share, and interact on the AM 950 social media platforms. Together, we can all work to ensure AM 950 continues to thrive and grow in our communities. We stand by our work with a lifetime craftsmanship guarantee. For a free estimate or more information on our financing, call 612-333-SNAP or check us out online.
There are things that we experience but never talk about. A shadow moving in a corner, flickering of the lights, a disembodied voice. We invite you to talk with us, share your story, share your evidence, because this isn't just your story, this is our story. This is Ghostbox Radio.
And this is Ghostbox Radio on AM 950, where every week we talk about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, or just the unusual. My name is Char Savoy. Oh, my name is Char Savoy. It really is. And I am filling in for Greg Bakken this week. Thank you for joining me today. Greg is off on some more paranormal adventures and asked me to fill in for him while he is gone this week. So besides being a paranormal investigator myself, I am also an energy healer, an intuitive, and a medium. And I am the owner of Charvinity. And you can find out more about me, my services, and my products on my website, www.charvinity.com. Today, I am so excited to welcome back Maria Shaw to Ghostbox Radio. Maria is one of the country's top astrologers. Her horoscopes reached 61 million people as TV Guide's channel on-air host, and she recently was a cast member of the 90 Day Fiancé on TLC. And she writes the weekly horoscopes for the National Enquirer and Soap Opera Digest. She's the author of 9 books published in 7 different languages. Maria's appeared on VH1, Oxygen, CBS, NBC, and ABC, as well as Fox News. Maria, welcome to Ghostbox Radio.
Oh, it's wonderful to be back. Thanks so much for having me.
Absolutely. Now, before we get started, I'd like to invite all of our listeners to join into the conversation. You can call in and ask Maria a question live on the air at 952-946-6205, or you can email us a comment or a question. The email address for the station is comment@am950radio.com. And we're also live on AM 950 Radio, but you can also stream the video on the following Facebook pages. On the AM 950 page, the Things Network, Minnesota Ghostbox, as well as Charvinity, Free Spirited Network, and also Parafriends Events. So here we are. So I kind of want to dive into a little bit of what's going on in the world. We kind of talked a little bit with some of these retrogrades that are going on. We currently are in Mercury retrograde, which I am feeling really hard. So do you want to just kind of describe a little bit about what is really Mercury retrograde and what exactly is happening?
Well, a lot of people have heard the buzzwords Mercury retrograde, but they don't know necessarily what it is, but they've probably felt it. Since May 11th and until June 3rd, we are in one of 4 cycles this year of Mercury retrograde. Mercury is the planet of communication and contracts and computers and travel, and it goes backwards 3 times a year. And this year it's going backwards 4, actually. We have another retrograde at the very end of the year, right past the holidays, and we have one this September, October. So when it goes backwards, it delays everything. And what'll happen is there'll be computer follow-ups, traffic jams. People will be more antsy or angry. There's miscommunication. Your cell phone doesn't work. You lose something. I was with my friend yesterday and she left her cell phone at my house. And you know how important these cell phones are. She had no cell phone for 10 hours as we were out shopping. So if people forget things, but I think that one of the things that people need to remember is that even though there's delays and you have to redo things, it is a good period for us. The universe knows what it's doing. It's given us a couple times each year to slow things down and to regroup. Anything with RE in front of it, you have a chance to revisit and redo. So you can remodel and refinance and redecorate and reunite with somebody and re-edit your book. So this is a really good time to go back over things. You'll catch mistakes. You'll have second chances. So, Mercury retrograde gets a bad rap a lot. But if you use it and you work with the cycles rather than against it, it'll be fine. But don't sign a contract on a retrograde. I've done it and it doesn't work out. Try not to get married on a Mercury retrograde. I'm not saying in all cases, but a lot of times it doesn't last. So you just kind of have to work around it.
Yeah, I think for me personally, sometimes I try to do too many things at once, and I feel like Mercury's telling me, hey, just slow down, breathe. You don't have to go so fast. You don't have to do everything at once. So I try to look at it in a positive, like it's trying to get me to calm down a little bit.
And it's always something to blame. So if we make a mistake, we can always say, Mercury retrograde.
Right, I know. And it's like usually the electronics with me kind of go wonky, and this today has been the day for that. So I've been blaming Mercury retrograde for that one.
Yeah.
Now we kind of are heading into a kind of a retrograde season here almost, because we got Pluto coming up and that's going to go retrograde. Actually, it's already in retrograde, isn't it? And it goes till October.
Yeah. It went retrograde the end of last month. It'll stay retrograde until October 8th, I believe. And Pluto retrograde gives us chances to restructure our boundaries with people. And it gives us chance for do-overs, second chances at things that to get us on a destined path, I guess I would say. But the other thing about Pluto retrograde is it's going to stir up a lot of stuff and bring out secrets. Things that have been hidden for a long time are going to come out. And look what we've seen just in the news since Pluto went retrograde. The Supreme Court, and Roe versus Wade, all of a sudden something was exposed, right? And we've seen all these different things, all these secrets coming out. And not just on a global or national level, but also in people's lives. They're discovering a lot of things that have been hidden. And some of the times that news is very, very positive, and sometimes it's, oh gosh, I wish I wouldn't have known that. But that goes on until October 8th. But it does give us all a chance to regroup and kind of look at things from a different perspective. One of the beauties of Pluto retrograde is it will shift your energy, shift your attitude too. And maybe you can accomplish, if you didn't accomplish something the first time around, you might have a second chance in the next couple months.
Good. Now I just kind of want to dive in just a little touch farther with that, because Pluto's retrograding in Capricorn. So we already know what Pluto's doing. What is Capricorn doing in there?
Well, when a planet is in a specific sign, it takes on the energy of that sign. So secrets for, and things that have been hidden, Pluto, which represents in the sign of Capricorn. Capricorn rules the government. It rules the court system. It rules big business. It rules big corporations, big companies. So we're seeing a lot of that. And also with the Twitter may be purchased. All of a sudden they're finding things that maybe, with the bots and things that they didn't see earlier. That's a major conglomerate,
Yeah.
So it's things like that. There's so many reports coming out in the field of medicine right now about the COVID, all these different things. So we're going to continue to see that, whether some of these conspiracy theories hold true or not, I don't know, but we're going to hear a lot of news. And I also mentioned in my newsletter last month that there would be a lot of people, a lot of deaths. Some people actually passing on, but some people having a death in their own life, like a metamorphosis, like there's an ending and then there's a beginning. So a lot of people are ending their jobs, ending a relationship, uprooting themselves, quitting where they've worked for years, or moving from where they've lived for years, and starting all over somewhere else. And that's another Pluto energy, is Pluto breaks down to rebuild. But we have seen a lot of people pass on, just like within the country music field. Last week, Naomi Judd and Mickey Gilley.
Yeah,
I'm a big country fan. So I would say, and then there'll be other. I mean, it always comes in threes, so there's probably going to be some other people too between now and October. I don't even want to think about it,
Right.
But Pluto rules death. People that are their souls that need to exit the earth plane now are exiting in the next couple months. The souls that were destined to stay longer, but will be here. But there's exit points during a Pluto retrograde for people.
Okay, cool. Well, it's kind of interesting how that all comes up, and we talked about Mercury retrograde can be positive. Well, this can be some positive too, because we're finding out what might be the truth and what isn't the truth. So that's kind of a good thing, even though some of this is kind of like, oh my goodness, this is overwhelming. But I think a lot of stuff really needs to come to the surface for sure.
Yeah, and this is a planet that will help do it. And the other thing that's and correct me if I'm jumping too far ahead, please, if you're saving this for another segment. But we do have a very revealing lunar eclipse tonight.
I know. Yes, I do want to get into that a little bit more too, because it's in Scorpio, correct?
Yes, which is ruled by Pluto. So Pluto, is secrets. Scorpio is secrets. It's the deep, dark waters, the murky stuff that we don't always want to have to address. But this is going to be a big lunar eclipse. I think it's going to be very intense. And a lot of people think, oh, it's tonight at 11:14, p.m. Central Time. And it'll be over. We just have to wait through the full. No, the energy of this eclipse is like 10 potent full moons in one.
Oh my goodness.
We're not going to see all of it develop. You should never judge an eclipse until it's over, until it's past, because what an eclipse will do is it'll shake things up in our lives. It'll reveal things. And if you're fence setting about something, it pushes you off that fence and onto your soul's path. And so this eclipse will we won't see the end result probably until October, November.
Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, that's good to know. All right. Well,
we're going to one for manifesting.
Oh, good. Well, that's good. I'm going to make sure I do that tonight then. So we're going to go and take our first break. And when we come back, we're going to continue our conversation with Maria Shaw, renowned astrologist, author, TV host, and star. You are listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
Affordable healthcare should be accessible for all Minnesotans. Join the push for universal healthcare by attending the spring fundraiser for Healthcare for All Minnesota. It takes place Friday, May 20th at 5:30 p.m. at the Wobbin Picnic Area at Minnehaha Park. Join for an evening of fun and camaraderie outdoors as we gather together for one of the first times. Healthcare for All Minnesota's own Rose Roach will interview virtually Canadian clinicians about the healthcare system in Canada. There will be food trucks, delicious desserts, a raffle, silent auction, and more. Plus, if you have kids, there's a playground nearby with children's activities provided. Again, join the push for universal healthcare in Minnesota by attending Healthcare for All Minnesota's spring fundraiser on Friday, May 20th at 5:30 p.m. at the Wobbin Picnic Area, Shelter D at Minnehaha Park. Tickets are $25 for adults and $10 for kids 12 and under. Order your tickets now at hca-mn.org. That's hca-mn.org.
You're listening to AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota. Recent times have shown how much our local AM 950 advertisers mean to us and how we all depend on them as a part of our communities. So please make sure to support them in the same way they support all of us, even if it's just stopping in to say thank you for their support of AM 950 and our local communities. See all of our advertisers at am950radio.com.
No matter if you're eating out or cooking something at home, EatLocalMinnesota.com has you covered with a list of locally owned restaurants and food purveyors. Locally owned Vinaigrette has been offering the finest olive oil and vinegar since 2009. Reintroduce yourself to all the many flavors by tasting before you buy. From darker white balsamic to cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil from all over the world, there is something for everyone. Vinaigrette, located at 50th and Xerxes in Minneapolis, or at vinaigrettemn.com. The Park Tavern is your go-to destination for fun. Enjoy the fantastic food like their pizzas, burgers, and sandwiches, the best bowling in Minnesota, their wildly popular outdoor patio, great drink specials, all the big games on their numerous screens, and it's the perfect place for your next private event, even large gatherings for over 200. The Park Tavern is your go-to destination for everyone. Have fun at the Park Tavern, Louisiana Avenue, north of Highway 7 in St. Louis Park.
This is New Beginnings, hosted by award-winning broadcaster and speaker Freddie Bell.
Freddie, this generation of the baby boomers, people are living longer, so the baby boomers are taking care of elderly parents.
Let's talk about your health, and specifically, let's talk about Medicare. Our show features the concerns of America's 78 million baby boomers in employment, finance, health and nutrition, and even entertainment.
Join us for New Beginnings, Saturday mornings at 11, brought to you in part by Vision Loss Resources.
And welcome back to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950. My name is Shar Savoy, filling in for Greg Bakken this week. Thank you for joining me and my guest today, Maria Shah, one of the country's top astrologists, authors, TV host, and reality TV star. Again, if you have a question for Maria, you can call in at 952-946-6205 or email us a comment or question. The email address is comment@am950radio.com. We're also on the Facebook Live. You can leave a comment there and I will relay that to her. I also want to mention that you can connect with Maria on Facebook at the French Quarter Medium, her website, www.mariashaw.com. And don't forget to sign up for her newsletter when you do this. Promise me you will love it. Be sure to sign up for that. And then her TikTok is also the 90-Day Fiancé, or 90-Day Fiancé Psychic Maria. There we go. I got it right now. Sorry. All right. So, Maria, we kind of were talking about retrogrades. The other one I wanted to bring up that's coming up kind of quickly here is Neptune, because that's a little sneaky one, I think, once in a while.
Yeah, Neptune is also about secrets, but Neptune makes you feel like you're in a fog. If you're having a Neptune transit, you could feel very foggy, like out of the loop, like not sure of yourself. Neptune also rules the world of dreams. So usually during a Neptune transit, you feel very almost etheric. Okay. You haven't had it. And right now Neptune's in Pisces. It's in its home sign. But when Neptune goes retrograde, and I don't have the dates in front of me, but it's a time that things could also be revealed, because Neptune hides things too. It makes things foggy, and you could, a lot of times we'll see a little bit more clarity. So here we have Pluto and Neptune. Neptune at some point here with Pluto not conjoining, but sextiling, which is a harmonious aspect, which is going to bring out a lot of things that may be aha moments too, because Neptune is psychic, it's spiritual. So in that perspective, it could be a different way of thinking. It could be a different way of looking at something, an attitude change. Like I was saying earlier, I was with my friend yesterday, and as soon as I got in the car, she said, I'm so excited. I had an aha moment. I had an epiphany. I'm no longer going to buy into the drama at work. So she's a Libra. She's always worried about all the drama at work and how they're messing with her and this and that, not promoting her. And she said, I just decided I'm just going to work, get my paycheck, and I don't care. And she said, I feel so much better, like a weight has been lifted. So that can be a positive energy. Right. A positive aspect. And then there's always a positive and negative to both, all planets. Right. So the negative thing is that, something that you didn't see before, that you were fooled about, all of a sudden you have this aha moment and you're not happy about it. People may, what you believed to be true may end up not being true. And that can be disappointing.
Right. So we still have, it seems like this year, we're still going to have a little bit of a shakeup, a little bit more revealing. And we're not quite out of the chaos, pretty much.
No, I think the United States is a Cancerian country. We're born on July 4th, 1776. And as long as Pluto is in the sign of Capricorn, it is opposing the United States, whether exact or even a few degrees away.
Okay.
And so on an opposition, it brings in power struggles. It brings in conflict, chaos, with other nations, sometimes even with its own people, with the government. It usually divides the country. And this goes on until November 22nd of 2024.
Okay.
So we still have some work to do to come together and to get things right, for the next 2 years. And our country has already changed. Pluto's been opposing the sign of Cancer since 2008, I believe. And when you think back of all the changes that have happened in our government and our world, our country, my goodness, all the transgender rights, legalization of gay marriages, those are just the two off the top of my head. But we're seeing so many, police reform. I mean, I could go on and on, but so many shifts and changes. The first woman vice president, lots of things are shifting because of that Pluto aspect.
Right. And I think sometimes people forget, we have had a lot going on the last couple of years, that sometimes it's really overwhelming to look at the full perspective of everything. And you kind of got to look at what part of this are you working with? And, what would you recommend if somebody's, kind of going into themselves to work with these retrogrades where the world seems overwhelming, but I always try to look at what in my world is reflecting that and what can I do to help myself?
That's a good question. One of the things that I would do when you notice first off, know where it falls in your own astrology chart, because that's where you're going to be affected. So you may not be able to do a lot to change everything that's going on in the world, even though you can be a strong light and high vibrational light worker. But if you're looking at your own chart, look where that retrograde is and where it falls in your chart. And then you'll have a better idea of what you should be going back over and working on. I would also say, in whatever area of part of that life that is schedule yourself 50% of normally what you would normally do. Don't try to take on more. During a retrograde, you're supposed to go back over, and things are supposed to be slower. And you could feel like you're in a chokehold. This is not a time to push for things. It's more of a time to reassess and kind of say, okay, I've come so far. All right, now what do I need to do? What kind of game plan should I have for phase 2 when the planets start to move forward again? So it's giving you a time to reassess, look at maybe how far you've come, correct the mistakes, and then maybe put a new and improved game plan together, and then move forward when the planets move forward.
Perfect. And they can schedule an astrology reading with you through your website, correct?
Yep. Just go to mariashaw.com. I offer 15-minute, half-hour, hours, and also one-question readings too.
Perfect. And I think when you get to understand a little bit of that, how it affects you personally, it actually ends up being more empowering. It's not, because we think I'm just overwhelmed, I can't do anything. But if you realize that's just where you have to put a little more effort in, or that's something you need to work on, I think it's just really introspective and it really helps you move forward. That's why I love astrology so much.
Me too. And I think that what we really want to know is, how long is this crap going to last? Do you see a light at the end of the tunnel?
Right.
How much longer do I have to put up with this? So, everything runs in cycles. So the beauty of astrology is timing, because, a lot of psychics will say, well, I see somebody coming into your life, but I don't have a date for you. Whereas astrology, you can take that client's information from that psychic and say, oh, okay, this looks like this person is coming in within, 6 weeks of March, or whatever. So the beauty of astrology is the fact that you can give time. You can very, very much predict time. Yeah.
I love that. I think it's great. And astrology is something, in some form has been around for so long that, it to me, I always call it is like our guidebook to life.
It really is. It's a map of our life. You were born at a specific time and place and date, where the planets were positioned in the heavens, and they affect your personality, your life path. And if you follow your chart, it's like a map of your life. And if you know your chart and you follow what you're here to do, it could be a super highway. If
Absolutely.
you work against it, then you're going to have more challenges. But, I was just thinking the other day, I do obviously a lot of readings for people in crisis, because that's why when people need you the most. And I was just thinking, some people have one crisis after another. They go from one thing to another. Life is always like chaotic.
Yeah.
And I'm just thinking that's what their soul is here to learn. I mean, they must have come over with a lot of lists of what they want to accomplish in one lifetime. It's not always easy, but life would be very boring if we didn't have some of this. But it's all a lesson. It's just a lesson. It's what what our soul chose to learn. I
agree. All right, we're going to have to go and take our next break here really quick. And then we'll kind of get into your event that's coming up here next weekend. So we will be back shortly here on Ghostbox Radio on AM 950 with astrologist Maria Shaw.
Hi, this is Evelyn. Dad, do I need to read this next line?
Do you want me to start dancing on the tickety talk?
Okay, fine. My dad is the one and only Mr. Minnesota, Matt McNeil.
Not an official title.
You're telling me. One thing my dad and I both agree on is Toyota Siennas are great vehicles. I drive one all the time, and it has the same safety and reliability of my dad's Sienna. It's fun to drive, perfect for summer fun with friends.
Test drive a Toyota Sienna at the best Toyota dealer in Minnesota, Rudy Luther Toyota, 5 miles west of Minneapolis on 394.
Hi, this is Ken Hageland, host of Living Healthy and Aging Well, inviting you to listen to our live call-in talk show airing every Saturday from noon to 1, where we talk about your health and your life and provide insights you need to know to live and age well. Each week, we talk with guests who provide answers to important questions regarding healthcare, elder care, end-of-life care, and self-care for caregivers, and help you and your loved ones plan for the future and enjoy your highest quality of life today. Please join us every Saturday from noon to 1 on AM 950 for Living Healthy and Aging Well.
This is Angela Warner with Warner Stellian. As a mother of 5, believe me, I'm all about getting the best deals. I'm always looking for a way to save money without compromising on quality. I guess it runs in the family, because at Warner Stellian, we have a team of buyers who are obsessed with getting appliance deals that no one else has. Like right now, we have thousands of appliances in stock at the best price. Then we give you an extra 5% back and fast free delivery. Put us to the test and see for yourself at our 10 Minnesota stores and at warnerstellian.com.
Do you believe in ghosts? Ever wondered if aliens from other planets visit the Earth? Have you ever thought about whether Bigfoot is real? My name is Greg Bakken, and on my new show, Ghostbox Radio, we'll have these conversations about the paranormal, ufology, Bigfoot, or just the unusual, bringing together guests who are experts in these fields. Join me every Sunday at 4 p.m. for Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken on AM 950, even if you're a skeptic.
Eat Local Minnesota is a great way to find locally owned Minnesota restaurants and food purveyors. You'll find high-quality food and unique eating experiences with dishes from around the world. Just visit eatlocalminnesota.com for your next meal. Experience the revolutionary Cuban cooking at Victor's 1959 Cafe, the little piece of Cuba in South Minneapolis. It's an authentic taste of Cuban cuisine for any meal of the day. Favorites include the ropa vieja, sweet plantain omelet, seafood paella, and more. Victor's has their dining room open for seating with no reservations required. Located off 38th and Grand. More at victors1959cafe.com. Cafe Latte combines a cafe dining experience with gourmet quality food. Plus, you can still do online ordering and takeout, along with gift cards. Just go to cafelatte.com and choose from their ever-changing selection of award-winning salads, sandwiches, and soups. Cafe Latte is located off Victoria and Grand and online at cafelatte.com.
Have you heard about the District Edina? Well, if you haven't, you're in for a treat. The District Edina is the Twin Cities' newest and most exciting destination for all things home design and remodeling. If you're looking for flooring or window treatments, furnishings, a builder to handle a remodel or an addition, kitchen or bath work, or even original fine art, you will find it at the District Edina. The District Edina, 7777 Washington Avenue South, and online at, wait for it, thedistrictedina.com.
Recently, Greg had Ernie and Denise Pack on from Pac-Man Paranormal, talking about their work along with others to save Waverly Hills. I urge everyone to seek out that episode from January 16th and listen to what is going on at Waverly Hills and to also support them in this endeavor. Go to SaveWaverlyHills.com and sign up for the petition, and please consider making a donation via their GoFundMe there. Please also share out the webpage SaveWaverlyHills.com. Also, as I said at the top of the show, I am Shar Savoy. I'm filling in for Greg Bakken this week. I'm a certified Reiki master and energy healer, intuitive medium, metaphysical instructor, and paranormal investigator. At my website, Sharvinity.com, I offer a lot of classes, services, and products that will help you on your spiritual journey. Check out www.sharvinity.com or Sharvinity on Facebook. Every Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Central Standard Time, you can also catch me live on Facebook pages, Sharvinity, Free Spirited, Minnesota Ghostbox, and the Things Network for live readings, topics about the metaphysical and the paranormal, and even maybe a live sale once in a while. And I do believe Maria might be joining me next week, which would be wonderful. And then also a quick reminder, if you missed Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken Live, AM 950 replays these episodes Saturday nights at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, or you can listen anytime by going to Spotify or iTunes after listenings, and please be so kind to leave him a positive review for his show. Welcome back, Maria.
Well, thank you. So far, we've been doing pretty good, huh?
Yeah, I'm really excited because next weekend you're going to be back here, and I get to see your smiling face again. So you're going to have an event at it's the Radisson, correct?
No, we're going to be at the Marriott. Minneapolis Airport Hotel, which is not at the airport. It's actually across from the Mall of America. It's on, I think it's 2020 American Drive or something like that.
Like American Boulevard, yeah.
Yeah, American Boulevard. And it used to be the old Thunderbird, I have been told.
Yes.
I wasn't around then, but the people may recognize it from there. And we're having a 2-day psychic fair. It starts at 9 a.m. and it runs to 5, and we'll have readers and healers there both days, and gemstones and crystals. And we're going to have Reverend Cindy come in from Michigan. She's a fan favorite. And of course, we'll have Christy, who everybody just loves, and Sandy. And I know I'm forgetting a lot of people. Lily will be there, and Jeff, and Deb Heim, and there's also somebody else special that I'm talking to right now. It's going to be there.
Yes, I am so excited. Thank you so much for allowing me to come and be a reader that weekend. I am really looking forward to this.
Now, what kind of specific readings are you going to be doing at that weekend?
So I do intuitive readings with oracle cards, and then they kind of just flow from there. And sometimes, not always, sometimes some mediumship comes through, but not always. So I don't want to say I'm going to be doing mediumship because it doesn't always happen, but mostly the intuitive readings, giving some insight, helping, with questions that people might have.
So past, present, and future.
Yeah.
Do you ever read pets too? Do you do readings on pets, or can you pick up pets that have deceased?
I have a couple times. It's not usually my forte, but for some reason things seem to be switching into the pet area, which is totally new and weird to me. And a lot of my friends think it's funny. So it's a long story, but so it's not one of my favorite things, but it's not something I tried to do, but it does happen once in a while.
Well, I am very, very anxious for a lot of people to come out and sign up and get a reading with you. We're going to be there from 9 to 5. It's a $10 admission charge. And with the $10, you're going to get a special gift from me and admission to the fair. It's $20 for a reading with any of the psychics. I think some of the healers charge a little bit more for their healing sessions. But you'll be given a sheet of who's there and what their specialty is when you come in. But I would love to be able to do something special for your fans, if that's okay.
Absolutely.
So anybody, or do you want to tell them? Because you can do it better than me.
Oh, no. What we're going to do is Maria's going to offer something out to the first 5 people that message me on my page, Sharvinity, and sign up for a reading with me of 30 minutes or more, 30 to 60 minutes to get a reading with me. She's going to offer you something special, but it's only the first 5 people that do it. And so what are you going to offer them?
That's right. We are in an oversold position right now for my personal classes and the convention part of the fair, which is no longer open to the public because the convention part is oversold. And Saturday and Sunday, I'm going to be there in a separate conference room teaching classes both days. And I'm going to be having a crossing over gallery where I connect with people from the other side. I'm going to be talking about psychic hygiene and self-defense, keeping entities out of your personal space. We're going to have an ascension class and a family karma class, generational karma that repeats itself in the families, and an angel class. So I think that's about 6 classes, 3 each day. And the first class starts at 10 a.m. There is a fee for the weekend, but as I said, we're already sold out. But I have held 5 tickets back for Char's fans and followers. So if anybody would like to come, everybody will get 1 ticket if they pre-book with her for next weekend on that sold out class. And so you won't obviously have to pay for that, but we do have a couple tickets held back just for her followers.
And I appreciate that. Thank you so much. So again, those first 5 people that want to book a reading with me at that event, send me a message on charvinity.com and I'll get your name to Maria and she'll hold a ticket aside for you so you can attend those classes. And last time you were here in February, I got to attend and go to all your classes and they were amazing. I loved them. It was wonderful. And so I want to tell it was great. And so I also want to tell people, if you do come and you're attending, whether you already have a ticket or you get a ticket from booking with me, bring a notebook and a pen because you are going to want to take notes on these.
Yeah, or your iPhone.
Yes.
You can record it too. Yeah.
Recording. Yes. Anything to get all the information, but there is a ton of information and it's amazing. I know my friend, she types really fast and she was typing the whole time next to me last time. And I was just like watching her and I'm like, her fingers are flying, trying to keep up with everything. But she would talk fast. Yeah. And she was taking information for her and her family because you were talking about the different signs and stuff and what was coming for them. So it's a lot of information. So definitely come prepared. It's amazing. You will really want to do this, but, yeah, first 5 people in the message that are going to book a session with me, I would be super excited to see everybody there too. So, now some of these classes, I don't think, I could be wrong, but I think some of these are kind of newer classes, correct?
Yeah, I usually don't repeat classes. I did teach a ancestral karma class a couple years ago, but this will have new material in it. But all of these other classes are new. I usually don't repeat them. I think I might recycle some from like 10 years ago because we have an awful lot of new followers and people that come to the shows that may get something out of the older, the classes I taught 10 years ago because they're kind of like evergreen. The information is always good. But as of right now, yeah, these are all new classes. I'm actually working on them as soon as we hang up. I'm going to be just starting working on, I've got all my notes together, but I want to put them in a, more formulated form.
Perfect. Yeah. And anybody that knows me that's going to this, if you can take notes for me, I would really appreciate it. So
you'll have to put a little sign on your reading table,
yes.
Gone to lunch.
Right. Exactly. And then in your crossing over gallery, I went to that one last time, I have to tell you, I was blown away. Absolutely phenomenal. I literally sat with my mouth open. I was like, whoa. It was really, it's worth going to. It's fantastic. It's amazing. So definitely this is something not to miss. If you can book an appointment with me and get that ticket, you will not be disappointed in any way whatsoever. Plus you have gems from the Tucson Gem Show. Oh my gosh.
And finally, after months and months, and I didn't have them at the Tucson Gem Show, I've been looking for over a year at trying to get the K Sarah stone in. I have the K Sarah stone. I have less than 100 pieces. I have pendants, couple bracelets. I have a couple towers, but the Minnesota friends will get a chance to see it first before we put it online. We're not going to put any of the product online till after this coming weekend. So if you've been looking for the K Sarah stone like I have, we've got it, and you guys will see it first.
And that is one of my favorites. So you better beat me to the table.
Do you have one?
I do have a few, but there's never enough. I mean, is there a limit?
Well, what's your experience with the K Sarah stone?
I really like it for healing. Like I use it a lot in my healing. I really think it's just a really calming stone. I don't know. It just feels really calming, and I use it in my energy healing, and I get a lot of comments of how they just felt this energy right in that spot wherever the crystal is, and it just feels really healing.
Yeah, it's related to the 12th chakra. I'm trying to remember what is it? I have all these notes somewhere, but it really helps us connect. The 12th chakra is about 12 inches higher than the top of our head. And it helps us connect with the realms of angelic guides and other beings and spirit guides. And then it also relates to the Earth Star chakra, which is underneath our feet, and helps us stay grounded.
Which makes sense for the healing, since I help ground people and call in that energy. So
yeah. And it also pays homage to we would know it as the three fairies, like in Sleeping Beauty. So after a child is born, the first 3 days, the three fairies, and I don't mean the fairies from Sleeping Beauty, but in the Greek mythology, will come and sit with an infant to help develop and make a plan of what this child is going to be when they grow up, their attributes and things like that. And if you study Greek mythology, it's kind of a cool thing. But this stone is also related to that, and having this stone in the child's room or the infant's room could also lift the vibration too. So there's so many things. I'll talk about it in one of my classes. I'll make some time to talk about it because it's a fascinating stone and there's so many facets to it.
Right.
So, but if you are just popping in and not attending the classes and just coming to the psychic fair, or you want to come in and do some shopping, make sure you check out the Que Sera stone, because that's going to be one of the important ones. And of course, we'll have the Pay Me oil there that people have been winning on. Had a lady 2 nights ago text me from the Mystic Casino, Mystic Lake. Is that the name of it?
Yep.
And she had the Pay Me oil on that I produce, and she kept winning and winning. In a half hour, she had hit for over 4,000 between her and her husband.
That's amazing.
And it was a good money day astrologically. And the big thing is to keep your vibration high so you can attract what you need. So we're going to talk about those things too.
Perfect. All right, we're going to have to head into our final break here, but when we come back, I want to talk a little bit more about what else you're going to have there, because you have some amazing things going on. So we're going to take our break, and when we come back, we're going to finish our conversation with Maria, and we'll also take any questions if anybody has any. You can call in at 952-946-6205 or email a comment or question. Email address is comment@am950radio.com. You're listening to Ghostbox Radio on AM 950.
Metaphysical means different things to different people, and the friendly and knowledgeable staff at Enchanted Boutique in Maplewood will assist you through your journey. You'll be welcomed with positive energy and amazed at the large selection and variety of crystals, locally crafted products, books, and so many other metaphysical supplies. Visit Enchanted Boutique's brand new expanded location in Maplewood at 1860 Beam Avenue across from Maplewood Mall. Everyone at Enchanted Boutique is ready to assist with your personal spiritual journey.
Hello, this is Ellie Krug with Ellie 2.0 Radio. Now my show will be on Saturdays from 10 to 11 and replayed on Sundays from 1 to 2. You will get to the best of Ellie 2.0 with talking about idealism, with guests who come in and who are idealistic, who are trying to change the world, and you will get me, Super Idealist. Tune in. We can't wait to hear from you, and you'll hear from me Saturdays from 10 to 11.
Nightingale is your cozy, comfortable neighborhood restaurant in the Whittier neighborhood at 26th and Lindale. Nightingale has patio, dining room, and bar seating available. Plus, they still have takeout and delivery. Their menu has lots of delicious options like the famous Nightingale burger and fries, ginger tamari chicken wings, smoked chicken liver pate, and more. They're open from 5 p.m. to 1 a.m. daily with their full menu until midnight. So make the friendly neighborhood Nightingale your go-to restaurant in South Minneapolis. Place an order, make a reservation, and more at nightingalempls.com.
Aho, this is Robert Pilot of Native Roots Radio presents I'm Awake. On our show, we talk about Native issues like treaty violations, protecting the water, and COVID in our Native communities. Weekly correspondents like Winona LaDue, Dr. Stately, State Senator Mary Kunesh, and Bob Blake update us with Native news that you won't hear anywhere else. Native issues are human issues, and human issues are Native issues. Join us weeknights from 6 to 7 p.m.
Hi, folks. This is Kurt Bankstad from Wisconsin's Minocqua Brewing Company, and our progressive beer is now available in Minneapolis. Yes, you Vikings can now buy Biden Beer, Bernie Brew, AOC IPA, and Kamala, a strong vice presidential stout, without having to travel across the border. And the best news yet is that 5% of the proceeds of each beer you buy go to keeping Wisconsin blue.
Drink progressively with Minocqua Brewing. Get their progressive beers at Lake Wine and Spirits in Uptown and Center's Liquor and Supermarket in Northeast Minneapolis. Find other Twin Cities locations at MinocquaBrewingCompany.com.
Hi, this is Paul Metza inviting you to listen to the Wall of Power Radio Hour. We have been on the air on AM 950 for over 5 years, over 200 original shows in the can, including musicians, artists, promoters, authors, comedians, and more. We're on the air Saturdays at 6 p.m. If you'd like to advertise, get a hold of us at am950radio.com and stay tuned this weekend, Wall of Power Radio Hour.
Next week on Ghostbox Radio with Greg Bakken, Greg will be back and he will have an interview with Matt Neen. This is a unique story about Matt, whose alien encounter is different from most people. Matt was not abducted, but literally accidentally ran inside a spaceship when he was 14. There he had the most profound experience of his life. Listen to the vivid recollection of this encounter next week. That sounds like a really fascinating story. So we're welcome back here to Maria Shaw. Thank you so much for being with me today.
Oh, I'm enjoying it. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So now I just want to dive into a little bit more. We kind of talked about your classes. Now you have, like, we talked about the gems, you have the pay me oil, a few other things, but you have a lot of other really amazing things to offer too. Are you going to have any moon calendars left?
All the moon calendars are gone, but the new ones will be coming out when we're back. We're going to be back in late July, but the moon calendars will be out in October. But you can get a digital copy online, and those have the lucky days in them, and they have the Law of Abundance days. And Law of Abundance dates is when you take out a check from an active checking account, make it out to yourself, and sign it from the Law of Abundance. Then you want to carry that check around you until a blessing occurs. And it doesn't have to be cash in hand. A blessing can be an opportunity, kindness. And then what you'll do is after the blessing occurs, you rip up the check and then you write another check on a day that is listed in the calendar, because these are all astrologically high, very potent days for manifesting. As is today, which we'll talk about in a second, I think. Mm-hmm. Yeah, the calendars are digital, but we'll have metaphysical stuff. I have so much stuff that's going to be set up that it's almost like you could run a store. There's so much stuff you could run a store.
It is. It's like a little mini store, but it's amazing because you always have the unique, beautiful stuff. Like I don't see it in a lot of other places.
Thank you. And I handpick everything. I'll go to the big Tucson Gem Show in different places and feel it and touch it. And I've got to handpick everything. And I like to shop anyhow. So it serves its purpose.
Right. Exactly. So let's talk about the manifesting, because we kind of tapped on that a little bit with this, the eclipse that's coming. So do you want to just talk about that a little bit?
Yes, everybody is feeling the eclipse energy, I'm sure. Some of you have not been able to sleep the last couple days. Some of you are feeling antsy or wired. Some of you are feeling more intuitive. And what's happening is the eclipse energy is building to a peak at 11:13:14 tonight, p.m. Central Time. And that is when the eclipse will be at its highest potent energy peak. And this is the time to manifest. And I say that because this eclipse is in the sign of Scorpio, which in my belief system, Scorpio is the master manifester. And you do not have to be a Scorpio to grab that energy and run with it and seize that opportunity. Well, no matter what sign you are, the Scorpio energy will be yours tonight to attract. And when you manifest, it's so important that you know what you want, because I always say that the universe is like a restaurant. You have to put your order in. And if you don't know what you want, and well, maybe I'll take this, maybe I'll take that, the universe may not get it back to you on time, or maybe right, or maybe at all. So try to be as specific as you can. If you say, I want a husband, I want a new man in my life, you could draw all the bums in Bay City, so you want to make sure that you be very specific. I was very specific with what I wanted with this whole home that I'm in. I even had the address, the zip code, everything. And the more specific you are, the more clear you are to the universe, you can co-create. So this is the perfect time. If you're not up that late, make up your wish list, put it in writing before you go to bed tonight. If you are up, please take time to pray, to affirm, to set your intentions, and then watch the things unfold. And it may happen in a day, it may happen in a couple days, or it may take the next 6 months to unfold until we see the new moon in Scorpio 6 months from now.
Good to know. I'm a Scorpio rising, so I'm on it.
Yeah, me too. So I've been feeling very intuitive. Yes.
Yes. Well, I'm excited about that. And then I just want to remind everybody to, if you send, I haven't looked yet because I've been doing this, but if you send me the message, first 5 people to send me a message to book an appointment with me at Maria's event next weekend. You book a reading 30 minutes or longer. She is going to give you a ticket to get in that gets you into all the classes that we just talked about. And trust me, this is something you don't want to miss. And she's making room for people to book just with me. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. So I'm super excited about this. And if you come out next week and you don't book an appointment with me, just say hi. I would love to talk to anybody. Just wave at me if I'm busy. But Maria, you come back here quite a few times during the year, correct?
Yes, I'll be back the last Saturday and Sunday of July.
Okay.
Will be our next one. So if somebody can't make it this next weekend, make sure that you save the date for end of July. And I believe we'll be back in October and December.
Perfect. And you usually have a little reminder card out there for everybody to grab too, which is good.
Yeah, as schedule. Mm-hmm.
Perfect. Now, somebody may be listening in another area of the country. Where else? Do you have another event going somewhere? I think you're headed to Michigan. Am I correct?
Yes, we're going to have an event in Michigan on August 14th in Frankenmuth, Michigan. That'll be a crystal convention with classes. We'll have some readers there too. And then I'll be in New Orleans, Louisiana for some private class, public, open to the public, but there'll be smaller classes. And then I just did a big event in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. And so I'm going to be in New York. After I leave, next Sunday night when I leave Minnesota, I'm on a flight to New York, and then from New York I'm going to Salem, Massachusetts, and then from there I'm going to Gettysburg for a paranormal investigation for my husband Joe, who you met.
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to be doing the penitentiary out there in Pennsylvania, and then we're going to do Gettysburg also.
Oh my goodness, I'm so jealous.
Yeah. So we've got a couple people from Minneapolis area coming. So
I will make it one of these days. I'm going to make it to something for sure. It's just this year has been a little rocky for travel, but I think I'm going to try my best to make it happen for one of his events because they sound absolutely amazing.
They're a lot of fun, and everybody gets to kind of know everybody and become friends. So a lot of the same people will come back on all his ghost adventures that he has and sign up. I think this is the last time though that he's going to be doing the hospital there because they're going to close the hospital or tear it down or something. So it's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, I love that when you get kind of the same group going, it gets the energy kind of builds, and it just makes it more fun, I think, when you get familiar faces. For sure.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Awesome.
I agree.
Well, great. Well, I am super excited to see you next weekend. I can't wait for this. This is going to be a lot of fun. Please, everybody, check out Maria's website. It's well worth it. Sign up for the newsletter. Come on out and check all the things that she has out at. If you can't get into the classes next week, at least come out and check everything at the table, what she's selling, all the things that she has to offer. Tons of readers, tons of healers. Just there's so much to offer at this event. So I'm super excited for this. Maria, thank you so much for joining me today. It's been an absolute pleasure. And thank you to everybody that's joined in as well. And again, please tune in next weekend with Greg. Maria is known as one of the top astrologists, reality TV star, and author of several books, and you can follow her at mariashaw.com, where you definitely can sign up for that newsletter that I talked about. Her Facebook page is the French Quarter Medium, and also on TikTok as the 90-Day Fiancé Psychic Maria. This has been Ghostbox Radio with Char Savoy on AM 950. Thank you all for joining me, and Greg will be back next Sunday with his guest, Matt Neen, as he talks about that alien encounter. Take care, everyone.